Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are doing a bit of spring cleaning, although I don't actually know what that means. Like, what actually is spring cleaning? Is it just a big clean that you do in spring? I don't know, nobody ever actually taught me what it was, so I'm doing what I think is spring cleaning, which for me is like the deeper stuff that I don't often get to. So for example, you will see me tidy my children's room, and then I will change the beds. Obviously I do that fairly often, not nearly as often as I actually should do that. But yeah, you'll see me changing their beds and then cleaning down their windows and just wiping a couple of things down. And you actually get to see me mop the floor as well. So yay, a couple of things on the video that you've not actually seen me do before, just to prove that it does get done. Today's been a super long day. Also, that's not all I do in this video. We also do the bathroom, which I know you guys have been waiting for that because we never finished it in the bathroom cleaning video that I did. We do a lot more. Sorry, that was my phone. I'm just gonna mute it. There we go. That is muted. It's not going to go off again. Yeah, so when we did the bathroom video together, we didn't actually get it done. But I woke up on this day with quite a lot of energy actually, and to be honest, I did the bedroom. Also, I'm working upstairs because it's a Saturday and my family are all home, and it was just quieter upstairs. But yeah, so what was I about to say? Totally lost my trail of thought. Nope, it's gone. Sorry guys, it's been a busy day. So yeah, I started with the kids' bedroom. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, so I started in here, and then as I was leaving the room, I kind of felt like, okay, I need to go and sit down and have a cup of tea. And I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep going while I have this momentum. So I just went straight into the bathroom after this and did a wee bit in there. And then, I mean, we'll talk about the bathroom when we get to it. So all I'm doing right now is tidying away toys. This room actually was not too bad. It was mostly dirty washing on the floor. So that's all been picked up. Their toys are kind of still put away nicely, but that's because they've not really been playing in their room very much with their toys. They've been doing a lot of crafts lately, and now that the weather's nice, like, they're going out a lot more, and we've had a lot of things on, I feel like, recently, so we've not spent all that much time in the house. When they get in from school, we've been going places and doing things. So yeah, they've not really played in their rooms very much, and when they have, they've been quite good at putting the toys back again. So yeah, wasn't much to tidy there. So now I'm just kind of reorganising the top of Lily's chest of drawers, which up there is just like the money boxes, the Alexa, some Lego sets, a couple of Kai's drawings, that kind of thing. And then I'm moving some things off the windowsill that are like little knickknacks that are very important to them. Like, they are worthless, but they are so important to the kids. Like this like tiny little rubber unicorn that Lily got out of one of those like toy machines that you put the coin in and you get the egg. So yeah, she's like absolutely loves that thing, and she was keeping it safe on the windowsill, so I've just moved that to the top of the drawers so we know where it is, because there will be a full meltdown if we lose it. And then yeah, just going in and hoovering. I did empty the hoover before this. We need to do a hoover cleaning video together, guys, because I think I've only cleaned this hoover once since I got it. Like, when I say clean, I mean like proper, like washed it out. So yeah, we're gonna need to at some point do that. That would probably count as spring cleaning, surely. Yeah. What do you all do for spring cleaning? Like, is there a set checklist? Is it just, you do things you don't normally do? Because if it's doing things you don't normally do, then there's a lot of things I don't normally do, and I'm pretty sure it's not all classed as spring cleaning. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, hoovering, and then what do I do after this? I think I remake the beds. Now, normally I hate making beds, like absolutely hate it. It's a job that I always leave for my husband. Like, I'm quite happy to strip the beds, but then I don't like making them. Also, it's gonna look like so when I do these videos, And especially in the bedrooms, it probably looks like, oh, she's not changed our bedding since the last time. But we all have two sets of the same bedding, just so everybody is aware. And I bought these like organising storage boxes that Emily Norris recommended. She's another YouTuber that I watch. And so I have them and we keep all the bedding in there. Although we have so much, I need to reorganise that closet. But yeah, so we all have two sets. So I basically took their sets off and then I'm putting on a different set, but it is the same colours, if that makes sense. You'll see what I mean. So at the time that I'm doing this voiceover, it's like 10 o'clock at night. So I'm doing the voiceover on the same day that I did this clean. It's been such a busy but productive day. So I did this cleaning and I think I spent about 2.5 hours altogether in this room and in the bathroom. And then that might have been including breaking for lunch. Was that including breaking for lunch? I don't think it was actually. So if we include the break for lunch, let's call it 3 hours. And yes, I'm including that as part of the cleaning because I didn't technically stop until after the 3 hours. Anyway, so did that. And then we've been out in another city today doing some shopping for our holiday, which I have just spent an absolutely obscene amount of money in Primark. I should not be allowed to take my credit card into that store. Like, oh, when my husband told me the total after he went to the checkout, I was like, oh my God. But we did all buy new suitcases. So I think that's where most of the cost came in because we're still not finished. We still have loads more to get. But we've never been on like a big family holiday. We've been to like staycations. Like we've been to caravans and camping, and I think we went to Flamingo Land once, which is still a caravan place, but we've never actually been abroad as a family. I've actually only ever been abroad once in my life, and that was, I want to say it was last year. I think it was last year. And that was for like a delayed honeymoon with my husband. And we went to Chamonix because we were going to go hiking and stuff. But because of my knees, I could only, like, we did a hike on the first day. And then that was me. I couldn't hike anymore for the rest of the holiday. And it was so sad because, like, we still went and did all the touristy things. But we went to somewhere that has, like, this beautiful ice caves. And there was about 500 steps, and I'm not even exaggerating, about 500 steps to go down into it, and I physically couldn't manage that. So my husband went alone and I sat in the cafe at the top reading, but I was a little bit heartbroken because I really wanted to see the ice caves, but also I just wouldn't have been able to manage. But anyway, that's the only other time I've been abroad, so that was only a year ago. But I don't want my kids to get to like my age and never have been abroad. So we managed to, we've been saving for 2 years to go on this holiday, and we are just really looking forward to it. We're going to Turkey, and we're actually going with, so Kai's dad and his partner and their 4 children. So there's 12 of us all together, and it should be really good because Kai's older sister is the same age as his other, like my daughter, who's also his sister. So they're kind of the same age. And then one of Kai's dad's partner's children is the same age as Kai. Oh, I need to sneeze. Nope, it's gone. And then her other daughter, like her other child, is the same age as Lily. So of my 4 children, there'll be 3 children that have somebody their same age. So that should be good. Sorry, that came out really weirdly, the way I was trying to say it. But anyway, yeah, so I don't normally like changing these beds. My husband usually does it, but he was so busy today as well. So I just was like, okay, I don't want to go out all day and then come back and remember that we still not changed my daughter's bed, especially because we were getting back at her bedtime. So I'm glad, like future me was glad that past me did this, if that makes sense. So yeah, so we went and did our shopping, and then we went out for dinner, and we couldn't decide where to go because the place that we wanted to go was actually shut down. It was no longer there. And then we were like walking along the high street. I think we were heading to KFC because that's where we had decided on. And we came across like this giant bear that, you know, people who are dressed in the costumes. And so my 2 daughters ran over to get a photo with this bear, and they handed us a leaflet, and it was actually for a restaurant. And we were like, okay, let's just go there. Also, trying to clean these windows with that sun was blaring in my eyes, and I literally was blind. I couldn't see. I just was like winging it, like hoping I wasn't making it streaky because I was totally blind. This room is directly above my kitchen, and as you've seen, the kitchen really gets the sun in. especially at this time of year. The other side of my house does not get any sun at all in the garden, and because of the shape of my house, that's why we get the mold in my bedroom and in my daughter's bedroom and sometimes in the living room as well. So all I was doing to clean these windows was white vinegar. That's the only product I really use in this room because I don't actually have that many cleaning products in the house right now. So that I thought, white vinegar is universal, it's great on glass, and this is, I think, one of those microfiber cloths that's specifically for glass. But I don't know, the texture felt different to the other microfiber cloths that I had, so I'm assuming that's what it is. But yeah, so I cleaned the windows, and then I'm looking around thinking, what else should I clean? Totally forgot about the unit where the camera's sitting right now. But cleaned these step ladders down because I could see some grimy bits on there. I did consider cleaning the entire bed frame and then decided against it because today was not that day. And then I think I cleaned the toy tool bench, but you guys don't see that. I think it's slightly off camera. Oh no, that's me doing it right now. So yeah, so after we then had dinner, we came home, and on the car journey home, my husband was driving, so I was editing this video to make sure it was ready. Like, I was editing it in the car on the way to the city and then on the way back. And then now that I'm home, I've sorted out all the stuff that we just bought into the right cases to see what we still need and made a checklist. And then now I'm doing this voiceover. But yeah, I'm also just using white vinegar on the floors, guys. I do have a multi-purpose cleaner. I just don't know where it is. Or it might have ran out. Who knows? Anyway, this was just as effective. It is diluted. So the smell isn't too strong. The windows are open and it gets the job done. So this is kind of the last thing that I do in this room. And then I think I give you a little pan overview of the room before we move on to the bathroom. And the bathroom is just as bad as it was the last time you guys seen it. Ta-da! Also, I made a cup of tea before starting this voiceover, and that was a mistake because I can't drink it while I'm doing this. So now we're in the bathroom. We're starting with this area because of all the visual clutter, just putting rubbish away, putting items away where they should be. I did clean off that hairbrush there as well with all the hair that was in it. Put some things in the cupboard. One day we'll open that cupboard and actually sort it out. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, but it's such a stupid cupboard. It's only half the depth that it could be. I don't know why. It's not like it's because of the pipes, because the pipes are in the wall, I'm pretty sure. Anyway. So yeah, the things I'm keeping, I'm just moving to the floor for now so that I have a clear surface to work from. And then today we are using I think it's Astonish. It's the Astonish brand, but I'm not sure. I think it's just Astonish bathroom foam cleaner. And the reason I'm using this is because it only needs to sit for 2 minutes, whereas my favourite cleaning product has to sit for 30. So we use this for this section so I spray it, and then it might look like, oh, you've not left it for 2 minutes because you're already scrubbing it. But I'm scrubbing, but I'm using a dry sponge. It's basically, I'm just spreading the product as well as kind of scrubbing it. And then by the time I've done that and I go back to the bit that I started with, then it'll have been 2 minutes. So that's kind of where we're at on this. I mean, this sink isn't as bad as it was the last time you guys seen me clean it, but it's literally not been cleaned since then. I always think, yes, as soon as it's clean, I can stay on top of it and then just never do anything with it again. One day I'll be in that mindset. But I'm not as worried about stuff growing on the tap as I was last time because, like, we've cleaned it before it's got to that point. There was a little bit of pink mold around the plug, but I think that's just from where the water, like, drips in. The worst thing is dust. Because there's no window in this bathroom, it just gets so dusty. To be honest, I probably should, like, take off the fan and clean that, like, inside that, and get rid of all the dust out of it. That's probably spring cleaning, I bet, as well. The thing is, I feel like if, like, for the channel, I'm probably going to have to do this bathroom at least once a month. So each time we do it, we'll be able to do a little bit more. So the last time I did this section that I'm doing right now, that was all I had the energy for. That was all I managed to do that day. Oh no, it was time constraints, actually. I was going to get my hair done. But that was all I had time to do that day. So this was all I got done. But you'll see now, I actually get a lot more done on this day. And so I'm quite happy with the progress that we're making. I needed to get all this done today because it has been a very slow week. I think I said in my last video that I wasn't having a very good week. It has kind of picked up in the last couple of days. So that's been good. I was in so much, after that last video, I was in so much pain that I basically had to have a bath and take pain relief and knock myself out. And I was supposed to be meeting Danielle to do a voiceover, and I wasn't able to do that because I was like, I could not leave my house right now. I was in agony. And then, so we ended up doing the voiceover the next day. And then I spent all day Friday, which is the day I normally do this cleaning for this video, the Sunday video. I had to spend all day Friday editing footage for 5 Free Cleaning to release that video for this weekend. So yeah, it's the first half of the week was very slow, but the second half of the week's been quite busy. Also, look at this. This is disgusting. I did not know how bad it was in there. I think the last time we did this, I didn't even look inside these containers. I don't know what. Sorry, I don't know what possessed me to look inside at this time, but boy am I glad I did, because ew. If you haven't looked inside your toothbrush holder in a while, go and check it out, because everybody's gets that grimy. I hope. If yours doesn't, don't comment. Don't let me know that. So yeah, just scrubbing everything down, then wiping it down with a microfiber cloth, including the actual toothbrush holder parts as well. Also, what you don't see me doing is putting like a nice little air freshener in the bathroom as well. I still feel like I need to sneeze. Oh, there we go. Sorry, guys. I would go back and mute that, but I need to upload this video as soon as I finish doing this voiceover because I'm doing a free clean tomorrow. I will not have time tomorrow. Usually we're just driving back from the free clean at the time that this video releases. That one was so much harder to clean because the circular space that was really dirty, my hands are too big to fit in there. And I have really small hands, so they actually normally fit into most spaces, but that one was quite painful to put my hand in. But ta-da! It's still not 100%, but you actually can't see it on camera, so it looks great. I need to go back in there with like a bottle brush scrubber or something. So yeah, there is still a lot more that we can do. So like I say, every time we go into this bathroom, we'll try and do a little bit more. So what I quite like to do is with my flash mop, I like to clean the walls and the ceiling, but I didn't get it done on this day because like we had to go out. And I also didn't do the front of the cabinet, like where the sink is, or around the bottom of the toilet. So I'll need to do all of that the next time we do this. And I also need to declutter the shelves, including like the 3-tier shelf you keep seeing me moving around. See that bathroom rules sign? I don't know if you guys remember, but the last time we cleaned this bathroom, I put it on the floor. It has just stayed on the floor until now. I didn't even notice either. Like I genuinely just, it just stayed on the floor and I was completely blind to it until today. And I was like, oh yeah, that doesn't live there. So that's us kind of done with that section. And we are just moving things off of the edge of the bath. And then what I do is, like I said, the Domestos Power Foam needs to sit for 30 minutes. So by this point, I'd already been cleaning for about an hour and 15, an hour and a half, something like that. And I did need a break. So, and this has not been cleaned in a very long time. I don't even know if I've ever actually cleaned the shower head part. Who knows? So I sprayed the Domestos Power Foam stuff. And look, you see, we have this mold problem, which I'm not under any illusions that this is going to get clean. I have a method for this and I'll explain it as we go on. But anyway, so I was spraying it all down and then I go and make my lunch and have my lunch and wait, like leave it for half an hour basically. And then I was actually quite excited to come back and do it. So normally when I stop and have a break, it's harder for me to get going again. But I was so determined on this day that we were going to get this bathroom done. So I was actually quite excited. So this was me when I came back, raring to go, ready to get this bathroom done. We don't take the tracking off the bottom this time because we did that last time and it's actually not too bad right now, and that wasn't my priority. But we're in the bath. I've put my shoes on because I have socks on and I didn't want to take my socks off and roll my trouser leg up and then be standing in like the cold wet chemicals. I thought I'd rather just stand in there with my shoes and then rinse it afterwards. Obviously I wasn't going to climb in there with my slippers on. But yeah, just wiping everything down. So I've not really talked about much else apart from what I've been up to and what I'm doing in this video. But I have been saying for a while that I wanted to talk to you guys about a psychologist called Maslow. So I'm just going to plug that in right here. But before I do, just because when I said that phrase, it reminded me that I never actually told you guys, apart from in a live that I did, that I now have memberships. If anybody did want to support me financially, that's a great way to do it. So what did I call my memberships? I actually cannot remember. Oh my god, Danielle is going to laugh at me because she's only just learned up the names of our memberships on our other channel. Oh my god, what are my memberships called? Okay, I don't remember, but we have 3 membership tiers. The cheapest tier is 99 pence and the highest tier is £2.99, all of which are cheaper than a price of coffee. However, I do understand, not everybody can afford it because maybe you follow 20 different YouTubers who all want you to be members and you can only pick your favorites, and I might not be your favorite, but that's okay. If you can afford it and you would like to join, that's the prices. It is a recurring monthly subscription, and I will be releasing members only videos for those on the £2.99 tier. I will do members only lives for those on the second tier, and for all 3 tiers you get priority reply to comments, and it is just a nice way to support me. But outside of that, the best way to support me is by doing exactly what you guys are doing and watching the videos, but also if you wouldn't mind dropping a like and a comment. I know a lot of people watch on their TV, so if you're not able to comment, absolutely fine, but you can still hit that like button, pretty please. It helps with the algorithm gods on YouTube. And then also, if you don't already know, it is completely 100% free to subscribe, but also hit that bell notification if you do like my content and want to be notified when I post. I typically post on a Wednesday and a Sunday at around 4-5 p.m. UK time. I don't actually know what that means in time zones, like times. Like, you know how like you get Pacific time and Northwestern time? I don't know if that's a thing. But anyway, I suck at time zones. But yeah. So go ahead and do all those things to help me, please. See this circle thing? Okay, I'm going to be real with you guys. It comes off, which I didn't know, and I accidentally pulled it off when I was cleaning it. And it is so bad in there that I was just like, not today, Satan, and put it back on and cut the footage so you guys couldn't see how bad it was. And you know it's bad because look at how dirty the corner is that I'm cleaning right now, and I'm showing you guys that. So now you can imagine how bad it is in that circular thing. I am going to do that. That might be on a members only video. My idea for my first members only video is going to be like the super gross things in my house. So I'm not going to tell you what they are, but you will see. I think I'm going to record that next week. It'll just depend because I think we're planning on going camping because the kids are on school break for 2 weeks now. And the weather has been so nice. We've not yet camped this year, and last year all I talked about was, yes, can't wait to go camping, can't wait to go camping, and then just never made it. I don't even think we went once, but we were so psyched to go, and for some reason just things kept coming up. But this year, totally ready for it. 2 of my friends are recently single, and they have kids, and they now have more independence, so they're like, yes, let's do this, let's go. So I don't even need to wait on my husband. If we go locally, he can work during the day as he does and then meet us in the evenings. But I'll still have like people to hang out with because my friends will be around. So that'll be great. Anyway, back to Maslow before I forget, because I did forget until I just glanced at my little note here. So Maslow is a psychologist and it's kind of to do with motivation. So before he came along, which by the way, this was in the 1940s, before he came along, the theories surrounding motivation were all to do with survival. So, you know, people are motivated to eat and drink and get jobs and do all of this stuff because it aids in survival. So they were kind of behaviorist theories. But he kind of said, well, it's not just about our basic drives like hunger and thirst. It'd be better understood through a hierarchy. No, I'm not very good at saying that word. A hierarchy of needs, which progress from like basic, you know, survival, the physical stuff, to self-actualization. And so he wanted to move away from that behaviorist perspective, which was mostly focused on animal research, and look at it from like a human-centered approach. So what he did, well, actually, he didn't specifically do any studies of his own that I'm aware of, in terms of this anyway. He kind of just looked at like other like he looked at like case studies and other research. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. I don't really know this all off by heart. Okay, so this is his hierarchy, and some people might have heard of this. If you work in the care industry, you might actually you might already know this, because it is still like there are a lot more advanced theories now, but they all kind of stem originally from Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So this is the 5 hierarchies. So, and you kind of imagine a pyramid, and the number 1 is at the bottom, and you can't really progress to number 2 until you've mostly met those first, like the first level. So the first one is physiological needs. So that's your basic survival needs, you know, food, water, shelter, sleep, sex, all of that kind of stuff. Then once you've kind of got those needs met, you kind of move to the second level, which is safety. So that's, you know, security, stability, protection from danger, order, law, all of that kind of stuff. Then number 3 is love and belongingness. So that's your relationships, your friendships, your social connections, your family. Then your esteem needs, which is self-respect, status, recognition, achievement, and confidence. And then number 5, right at the top of the pyramid, is self-actualization. So that's the desire to fulfill your potential, pursue personal growth, and engage in like creative and meaningful activities. So what he kind of said is that most people are partially satisfied and partially unsatisfied at all levels. But the only way that you can reach those higher levels is when your lower needs are largely met. So you're not going to like, you know, pursue personal growth and engage in creative and meaningful activities if your basic needs are not met. Like if you're starving or thirsty, or, you know, you've got no relationships, that kind of thing. And he says, you know, if you're not meeting those levels of needs that you need, sorry, that's a weird way of saying it, then that's what leads to like anxiety and neurosis and maladjustment and things like that. And that people who do reach self-actualization tend to be creative, independent, and fulfilled. Let me see, what else have I got written here? So he says that when a lower need is satisfied, it disappears from conscious motivation, allowing the next level to emerge. And self-actualization is only possible when other needs are fulfilled. So this was his theory. So we are nearing the end of the video, so I'm probably going to have to continue this in the next video. But that is his basic theory. And, you know, I think it is good for an initial framework, you know, and I can understand why a lot of studies are based upon it. I don't 100% agree with it, but I'll get into more of that in the next video because we are nearing the end now. So thank you for joining me. Let me know what you think of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and if you guys know any information on motivation and things like that, like psychologically speaking, drop it in the comments. anything that you want me to chat about in future videos, also pop that in the comments, and I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye.